What if your biggest obstacle wasn't poverty, but the belief that you couldn't escape it? That's the reality Stephen faced growing up in Liberia. Today, he's a geologist and PhD student in Japan, on a mission to use science and dedication to uplift his country. In this episode of From Africa with Purpose, Stephen shares his journey from struggling with limited infrastructure and resources to becoming a researcher in a land he never thought he'd reach. From Africa with Purpose. Study in Japan for Africa, and our podcast name is From Africa with Purpose. So, before we start our first question, then please introduce yourself to our listener.
Okay, my name is Stephen. Stephen, okay, because most people, I think it's just a simple version, Stephen. But I'm Stephen F. Cooper II, and I'm from Liberia, West Africa.
West Africa.
Yes.
Most of the people are saying their country, where is he or she from, and after that they are saying like West Africa or South Africa or East Africa.
Yeah, because the thing is, I've noticed that unlike my country, I've noticed that most people are not, most schools, particularly in most African countries' education system, they don't kind of maybe pay more attention or put more attention to learning, maybe learning about other countries of the world. But back home in Liberia, our education system is kind of is broad. You learn so many things.
Okay.
The system that doesn't restrict you. So we know so much about other African countries. I was shocked that many other African countries, people from other African countries don't even know Liberia. I was shocked. It shocks me at times. But I know all of the countries in Africa. I know all of them. And to a greater extent, I could even tell you the capital state of like 80%. Yeah, 80% of the countries in Africa. So that's how our education system is structured. You have to learn everything. Yeah, that's how it is.
That is so hard for me. Like, I can't remember everything.
Yeah, you have to learn it. So.
I can't memorize the things like that.
Oh, okay. So this is why usually when I introduce myself to people here, even other Africans, I'm like, I'm from Liberia, West Africa, because some of them will be like, where is Liberia? Yeah, but if you tell me I'm from Kenya, I know where Kenya is. Or I'm from Tanzania, I'm from Botswana, I'm from Algeria, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that's how it is.
Wow. Okay, you said about your education system. I want to talk about your education system problems after middle of our podcast. So the first question is, when you first arrived in Japan, which airport was that?
I came through Narita.
Narita, okay.
Yeah.
When you first arrived in Japan, what was your first impression?
Okay, so we arrived in the night. Yep. So I really didn't get to see around. But the first thing was, it was very cold.
Cold?
Seriously. So when we got outside of the airport and outside of the terminal, when the cold finally hit me, I was like, what? This is like, is this serious? Is this really true? It was so cold, and immediately I started to shiver. So for me, that was my first impression. I was like, whoa, this place is so cold. And my fingers started to freeze. I was like, nah. It was my first time being introduced to such an atmosphere or to such a cold weather condition. So I was like, no way. This is quite different from back home. And then another thing I noticed was that, the transportation system, buses were moving up and down. So the airport was so busy, so lively as compared to back home. I mean, and bus, it was just bus after bus. People would come, and the driver would alight from the bus. He would come and probably hold a poster to tell the travelers that, okay, I'm going to so and so place. So you find it difficult to even get lost in the process. And some of the buses even have labels at the top on the glass where okay, probably they are going to so and so hotel. It's because we were lodging at the CNA, I think the CNA hotel. Yeah, so we kept looking, and the guys were okay, once you see a bus with the name on the CNA hotel, and then that's where you're going. So yeah, so those are the things I noticed. And then I really didn't notice a huge crowd. So it was not so crowded. Yeah, but I think those are the two things that really stood out to me. The code and the transport system. I mean, it was one vehicle after the other, one vehicle after the other. And it was done so uniquely and orderly. There was, as soon as one vehicle is leaving, then another one is coming. So it was done in a timely manner. So this is, I mean, it was amazing to me.
I can imagine it.
Yeah.
That's true. Very busy. Like
Yeah.
everything is like organized.
Organized, like totally organized. And I'm like, woo, this is where I wanted to be.
Really?
An organized system, yeah.
Okay. So, like, I'm from Mongolia. I really said, and you know, after I arrived in Japan, I started to compare the Japanese people and also the country with my country's people and also the country. So, like, I realized a lot of different identities of my country first time.
Okay.
So, how about you?
It's been overwhelming. The differences are overwhelming. Compared to back home, I mean, this country is a quiet country. The environment is so quiet. Yeah, it's not noisy like back home. If you went to Liberia, trust me, except maybe during the night hours, and it should be like you are not around major nightclubs or major entertainment centers, but you will find it difficult to sleep. Particularly particularly in the urban areas, very noisy, very, very noisy. But Japan is so quiet. So the only sound I hear when I'm in my room is the sound of vehicles passing up and down. You don't hear a child cry.
Yes.
You don't. Then another thing is peaceful from what I've seen. You have not seen any two persons in an argument in the street. Back home, that's very common. In fact, at times it even lead to bloodshedding because one person will just hit his friend and they will jump into a fight and someone will start to bleed. So I've not seen that here. So yeah, I've not seen people quarreling. And then the air also is the air. The air is so nice to breathe. It's breathable. Is so clean. Back home, a lot of dust in the air. So yeah, a lot of dust. You have your face dusted up. You at times you have to wear nose masks, particularly in the urban areas, because you don't want to get a lot of those particles going down to your lungs. But the air here is very clean. And then the people are so respectful.
Respectful.
People talking to you and they every time they are buying. So you go to buy something in a maybe in a supermarket, someone serves you and they are bowing to you. I don't know. They are so courteous. I mean, back home, it's quite different. Like totally different. Like for example, you are the seller, I'm the buyer. So I come to buy from you. I mean, it's like you kind of bluff to even serve me. When I'm spending my money, you are not even providing the service the right way. You serve me the way you feel like. Yeah, so it's terrible. Here, I mean, they serve you even beyond what you have to offer, beyond what you've gone to buy. So they serve you with respect. They serve you with what they have. I don't know. They are just an amazing group of people. Trust me, the Japanese are so amazing because the difference between the Japanese lifestyle and the one back home, I don't know, it's like East from West. They don't meet at any point in time. They are just totally opposite. Really? Yeah, back home, a lot of quarreling, people. I think it's probably because of the 14 years of civil crisis we experienced. 14 years of civil crisis that ended in 2003. 2003. Yeah, so probably that kind of arose a spirit of violence in people back home in Liberia. So people are easily angered. And again, probably because of the economy, people are jobless, unemployment rate is high. So probably these are some of the factors that trigger anger and violence in people. So a lot of things just go wrong along the way. But here I see people are so quiet. Then again, another thing I've noticed is that since I came, I've not heard anything about politics here. I don't even know the president of Japan. Seriously, I don't know the name of the. Yeah, people don't care. People just go by their normal business. If you are going to work in a supermarket, they go and work. If they are professors, they come to class. Nobody is telling you about politics. It's like we don't care. We are living our lives. I'm not a politician. I'm a professor, so I'm just going to do what a professor does. So I'm not concerned. So, like I said, probably I will have to Google on who is the president of Japan. Seriously, I don't know the president of Japan. I don't even know their name. But if you arrive in Liberia today, if you spend just 2 to 3 days in Liberia, you'll know the president name.
Really?
Obviously, because every news outlet, people, some will carry stories of someone insulting the president. They are having these talk shows and people are calling and insulting people. I mean, somebody's hurt somewhere. Somebody's trying to praise the government somewhere in another place. So you know who the president, in fact, you may know all of the members of cabinet just within a short time because their names are all over.
That's like a superstar.
Yeah, that's the word. That's exactly how you describe it. They are like superstars. And I think it's because people are angry and all the stuff. So, but those are just the differences. The differences are so huge. Like I said, comparing Liberia to Japan is like east to west or east and west. We just don't meet. We just don't meet. So I think the only similarity. I think the only similarities we have is that we are all humans. And we live on earth. So seriously. So that's how different. That's how different the two cultures are. So I'm just amazed at how people here are living as compared to what or how people back home are living. So the difference is so huge. For me, it's incomparable.
Incomparable.
Yeah, for me.
From Africa with purpose.
Well, the people in my country are, first of all, we are very friendly. And I think what's very interesting about Liberians is that we like foreigners. We like foreigners. That's the truth. And at times, even to the point where we choose a foreigner over a Liberian. That's what we do mostly. So like I travel to other African countries, I notice that particularly in West Africa, people, other citizens from other parts of Africa or West Africa, they tend to treat foreigners in an awkward manner, but Liberia is totally different. I don't know, but we have this respect for someone who is not from Liberia. And I think the reason is because we believe that when you are a foreigner, you need help. You need assistance. You don't have to be treated badly. So when you're a foreigner, you don't know your way around. You don't know the price of goods and services. So we step in to offer our help. So yeah, we really like foreigners because we are very hospitable and we are very friendly. That's the one aspect about Liberians that I noticed that's like different from what I've seen here in Japan. Where it's not that the people here in Japan are unfriendly, but it's just that people like to stay by themselves. People want to be private. They want to live their private lives. But Liberia is totally different. In Liberia, everyone wants to know about you and you want to know about everyone else. That's how it is. It's like, I don't know, it's almost like there's no privacy back home. Everybody knows a little about OG. Oh, OG is from Mongolia. Oh, OG is... So they know everything about G. So yeah, OG works at Akita University. So like you ask the 3 or 4 persons in your community and they will tell you everything about OG. That's how it is. And if you should ask OG about 1 or 2 persons in his community, he's also going to tell you about them. So we sort of have that kind of society. We don't have this society where people are so much living in isolation, where people are secluded. In fact, we get offended if you want to be so private, if you want to be so secluded, isolated. We are like, you are selfish. You don't want to mix it with other people. You don't want to get involved. So that's one thing again I noticed. That's another difference between my country and here in Japan. And when I came first, I was like, how? In fact, in Liberia, you speak to people. You just don't pass people without saying hi. Yeah, it's a culture. Even if you don't know them, you say hi. It's a culture. But here in Japan, hey, no, nobody cares. Like someone's just going to pass by you. You pass by someone like 3, 4, 5 times in a day and they don't even wave. Back home, we don't do that. So, and another thing is if you're passing in someone's yard you have to speak, else they will stop you from passing. They will tell you, you're not the one sweeping my yard, and if you want to walk through my yard, you should say hi. If you don't say hi, I will stop you from walking through my yard. So if you, that's how connected we are. So we really cherish it, and our parents, even from a very younger age, tell you you should learn to speak to people. Don't just pass people without saying hi. You should say hi. And then another thing is, they teach us to say hi mostly because they believe that if you are a stranger going somewhere that you might get into danger, if you spoke to someone and say hello, they'll be like, "Where are you going?" And you say, "Oh, I'm going just there." They'll be like, "No, don't go there. There's danger there," because you spoke to them. But if you just passed without saying hi, they will just sit and watch you go and get into trouble. So that's another reason why they tell us, always say hi, because you don't know what is ahead of you. But if you say hi to someone, they will stop and direct you. No, don't go that way because there is danger. You can go this way. So that's another reason why we always like to greet people. So you just don't pass. So it's quite different here in Japan. Like, even if you're going the ditch, it is your business. So you're just going to go by your business and everyone goes by his business. So I found it a little bit difficult. And another thing is we visit a lot. It's at times, I go to my friends, they come to me. We plan time to go out, maybe to the beach and everything. But we are mostly, we are a hospitable kind of people. We love family. Like, we mostly live together. Like, you'll notice that in a household, you will find the grandfather, the grandmother, the dad, the mom, and the children living in the same house. Yeah, in Japan, I've not seen that. So it's always like the wife and and her husband and their children. But in Liberia, in most instances, our grandparents live with us in the same house, and it's actually great. Yeah, because you feel loved. You get to wake up and see your grandparents as a child, and as a parent, you get to see your parents beside you. So those are all great moments, and it kind of helps us to overcome even when we are facing challenges, because there's this thing about life. When you are going through problems, if you have people with you, you can easily overcome. But if you're going through problems and you are all alone, it weighs you down. So those are some of the good aspects about Liberia and the culture, the way we live. People care about people. Trust me, if you should go to Liberia today, you're going to have people greeting you every day. Hello, 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 hello. And everyone is going to be trying to know about you. Who are you? Where are you from? So literally, you wake up in the morning, you see people like by your door trying to say hi and trying to find out, where are you from? They just want to know you. It's not that they want to meddle in your affairs, but they want to know you. They want to know where you're from. They are excited to see strangers. That's Liberia. And that's one thing we have that I cherish. I really love that. It really helps you when you are going through problems. So the country teaches us that if you are going through problems, you have people who are standing by to help you. You only need to explain. You only need to tell family members or close friends, this is what I'm going through, and they are willing to listen to you. In other countries, I noticed, like, for example, someone told me in Japan, people pay people to listen to them, to discuss. Like, it was funny. I was like, seriously? So I'll have to pay OG for OG to sit and listen to me? Like, nah, that's extreme. Back home, you only need to make a phone call and people are willing to listen. Even now, when I came when I came newly, it was kind of a little bit difficult trying to settle and everything. I would take the phone, Messenger or WhatsApp, call my friends from back home, and we even sacrifice. There are times it will be like around 12 a.m. Liberian time, but because of me, they will choose not to go to bed. They want to talk with me. They want to hear what I have to say. So it's kind of exciting. That's how we live together in Liberia. And I think it's an African thing. We live together. We kind of go through our problems together. We share our joy together. We share our sorrows together. That's very interesting. And that's quite different from here in Japan.
It's completely different. It's
yeah,
way much
people
different.
are disconnected. People are disconnected. So if you are coming from Africa, you're coming here to study in Japan, trust me, that's one thing you're going to face. So you get used to having people with you or by your side in Africa, but you come to Japan and suddenly nobody really cares. So it's something you have to live with. It's something you have to get used to with time. But it can be a little bit stressful. Yeah.
That's so funny because there had one guy tried to having no conversation
Okay.
and like having a normal life in Japan, and he got it.
Okay.
Even in the supermarket, there have some machines, so you don't have to communicate with people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even in restaurant, they have like this type of bar, then you can order from the bar, and you can pay from this bar, the tablet.
No.
So that guy lived in one day without saying any words, and also without hearing any words.
Wow.
And that's Japan. That's new Japan.
Yeah.
But back in the days, I thought I heard about the Japanese like normal people's history. So they said they had a very strong communities.
Communities, of
Yes, communities built this powerful country. So these days, the life changed.
Yeah.
But on their heart, maybe mine, they are so like community people. So I thought the who can speak in English in Japan, they really like the African peoples because most of the African peoples are really like community peoples. So they feel the same atmosphere, maybe from their vein.
Okay.
Yes, not in their mind, maybe in the heart. So they really like the African people.
Oh, wow.
Who can speak in English.
Okay.
Yes, they always wanted to talk with them, but they are brain thinking, oh, talking with him makes his in trouble, maybe taking his like quality time, so I have to stop.
Wow.
They're trying to stop to not talking with you, talking with you guys.
Okay.
Yes, it's in their brain, but in their heart, they really want to
No
talk
way.
and ask a lot of questions from you guys.
And I think if they really get to know Africans, they will really come around, because we too want to go around. But the thing is, we are also scared. We're scared because we feel that they don't want to be bothered. Like, take for example, maybe I'm working in a corridor, the International Resource Center or Resource
International affairs.
Yeah, International Affairs, and I meet someone. Maybe they're going down the stairs and I'm going up the stairs, and they are going so far. Yeah, like this is the stair. These are the stairs, and someone is coming to walk here. I mean, why not just walk here and I walk here? You see the person coming so close to the edge of the stairs. It's like, I don't want to be bothered. In my mind, that's what I think. Then I don't want to be bothered. But I think if they get to know us, they get to know the Africans. We are a people with a strong sense of community, like you're saying. I mean, we are always available, except if we are busy. And if we are busy, we just don't snub someone. So if someone came around, oh no, I'm busy. No, we don't do that. Like, we tell you, okay, can we schedule to discuss so and so time? And so we just don't snub people, and because they came around. We really love people. In fact, in Africa, if you don't like people, you probably may not survive. Obviously, because nobody likes someone who is not sociable, someone who doesn't like people. They're going to stay away from you. So I really wish to know more about Japan, get to know Japanese, but I don't know if it's ever going to be possible because they are always just far away.
Yes.
Yeah, it's stressful for us Africans.
And I thought if a lot of Africans, if they are coming in Japan, Japan will change.
Yeah, okay.
To their like real the Japanese way.
Japanese way.
Yes.
And to be frank, let me be frank with you, OG. It's very important to have the world we are living now. People say it's true. It's a global village, so we no longer need to live far away from each other because we have technology. You can, like, I can sit here and I make a call back home. Those things were not available centuries ago. Now they are available. So it means we are more closer today than we were before. How is it that when we should be more closer, we are still far apart. That's crazy. And okay, maybe, okay, like you say, they think that, okay, I don't want to take their quality time or whatever, but I don't know. It feels so refreshing just to discuss with someone. It feels refreshing to not have to carry a burden all alone when you can share with someone. That's what life is about, because we are all dependents. No one is independent. Think about the countries. There's no way we are only independent in terms of administering the affairs of the country, right? But apart from that, we have international trade. There's no country in the world that says, I don't need international trade. Even the great America is into international trade.
Yes.
So it means that nobody is actually independent. We are all interdependent.
Yes.
We depend on each other. So it should narrow down even to the individual, to the one person, or to individuals from the country and down to individuals. You need me and I need you. It's just about getting to know each other better. When we know each other better, we've become more comfortable with each other, and then we can discuss what we ought to discuss. But until we can become comfortable with each other, there's no way we're going to discuss. So that's the first thing. You get comfortable, and getting to know people doesn't necessarily mean you tell them everything about you. It's just about telling them what you need, what they need to know, and they telling you what you need to know. That's it. That's a starter. That's where you start from. But we really need people. Without people, there's no way we can live. Well, there's no way we can survive.
Exactly. Exactly.
We need people, yeah.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. You talk about a lot of the problems about your countries, like the conflicts, etc. So, then was there like a particular moment or like every day the problems in Liberia made you like think, oh, I have to go abroad and like got some solutions and come back? And
It was an everyday thing.
everything.
Every day.
What was that?
So there are so many issues back home. I mean, so every time I sat down, I was like, no, I think I will have to get out there. So take, for example, my field, geology. It will interest you to know that back home, I would say probably like 85 to 90% of geologists are all bachelor degree holders.
Only.
Yeah. And the reason is because it's not that because they don't want to go further. The reason is because we don't have a graduate program. We don't have a graduate program in geology. We don't have a graduate program because we don't have the manpower capacity to be able to transition to a graduate program. We don't have the facility to be able to transition to a graduate program. So I would say like 85 to 90% of geologists back home are all bachelor degree holders. So most of the time they just find themselves in the industry instead of finding themselves in academia. So I had to go to Nigeria. So this is not my first abroad study program. I went to Nigeria for my master's. I could never have been here today doing a PhD had I now gone to Nigeria. So probably I would have been here doing a master's now because we don't have a graduate program in geology back home. And like I said, it's because there are two things that I see that are contributing to that. One, we don't have the capacity, the human resource capacity, and we also don't have the infrastructural capacity. I was like, no, I will still have to move from here. I will still have to go further. And then I saw the MET scholarship. I was like, okay, Japan will be just the best destination because they have the technology and everything. So when I get there, I will build on what I've already acquired over the years. And I'm sure I can be a better geologist that I can cross-cut both industry and academia and be able to help people back home and be able to become and serve as a lecturer at the University of Liberia and then help the younger generation and the generation to come. So those are the things that really pushed me. And it was an everyday thing. I just knew every day I look around, I really didn't see any improvement. I didn't see things getting better. So I was like, hey, I need to get out of here. I need to push further. That's the only way I'll be able to call myself or consider myself a geologist. So for me, I really had not go anywhere. I was like, I need to do more.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. So I want to turn to the next question is about what should Liberians study from Japan?
Oh yeah. I mean, we can study a lot. Like I've seen a lot of good things about Japan that I know or that I think if we should practice such things as Liberians, we could be able to go further. And one thing I've seen in Japan is sincerity.
Sincerity.
Sincerity, yeah. Like, and I'm not saying in terms of expression, because in terms of expression, one Japanese lady told me before that Japanese are not sincere with what they say because they don't want to hurt you, they don't want to make you feel bad. So they kind of bottle up the negatives and just pretend that everything is okay. But when I say sincerity, is like when it comes to how they interact with you, how they interact with each other. I mean, you leave your tablet here on this desk and it's going to stay here for the next 2-3 months and nobody's going to touch it. Yeah. So nobody's going to touch it. That's very good. Well, in my country, that's different. You don't even want to make a mistake to leave that board here on this table and leave that door open, maybe for just 1 or 2 hours. You come back and it's gone. So we really need to be sincere and that's is very good. And another thing is we need to prioritize our citizens. In Japan, I've noticed like bachelor students in my graduate school, some of them are going to Madagascar, some of them are going to Australia, other parts of the world, other African countries, they are going there for research, for their bachelor thesis. And I'm like, wow, this is very strange to me. Because back home, trust me, we have now reached to the level where we prioritize our citizens. We still have companies that are hiring foreigners, bringing in foreigners over Liberians. Liberians are jobless, but there are companies that are still bringing more foreigners to work for them when they can get those same skills in Liberia. So I think we need to prioritize ourselves. The government needs to work more on that, where you prioritize Liberians. Japan, I have noticed, they prioritize their citizens. If you are going to send a bachelor student to Madagascar to go and collect sample, a bachelor student, I'm not saying master or PhD, that's understandable. But a bachelor student, it means you have to prioritize your citizens' welfare. You have to prioritize quality education to want to make you think about the plane fare, think about the ticket fare. That's very huge. Probably you might be talking close to 2,000 for a round trip, for a return ticket. I mean, that amazes me. Liberians, can we reach to that level where we can prioritize each other, we can prioritize individual development as compared to self-development? Because my country is more or less in a state of self-development for people, just individual development, like isolated development. It's not like collective development for the citizenry. So people are more concerned about themselves as compared to being concerned about the next person. And I've noticed that in Japan, they're concerned about each other. They are concerned about developing skills. They are concerned about developing their people educationally. It amazes me. And I think if we can take that path as Liberians, we're going to go far. And I think that's how Japan has developed. They have prioritized each other. I think that's the cornerstone of the development that Japan is boasting about today. If you do not prioritize each other, if you do not prioritize your citizens, I mean, they're going to live impoverished lives. They're going to be unemployed. They're going to be jobless. They're going to be so much sicknesses and diseases because people only care about themselves. So mostly, despite our sense of community, we are actually selfish. And I'm going to tell you that when it comes to helping the next person, when it comes to collective development, Liberians are selfish. We are really concerned about self-development to the point that I might take something that you need to upgrade yourself, but I might take it away from you because probably I just don't want you to reach my level. And that's the truth. That's totally wrong. And I'm seeing totally different stuff here in Japan. I think that's one thing that's another thing rather we could adapt. Collective development, where we push boundaries for everyone to succeed. It doesn't have to just be educationally, it could be entrepreneurially, entrepreneurship. Those who want to go into business, let's push the boundaries so that they can venture into business. Those who want to go into agriculture, let's push the boundaries so that they can go into agriculture. It's like everyone would not have to end up in the classroom, but there should be opportunity, equal opportunity for people to pursue their dreams, to pursue what really matters to them. We lack that. And it's really kind of, for me, it's depressing. So when I come to Japan, or when I came to Japan and I see how people are pushing each other, how people are really working to ensure that the government is working to ensure that the citizens are well off. It's something that amazes me. We need to learn that as Liberians. And if we don't learn that, we're just going to keep moving in a circle. We need to prioritize our people, prioritize ourselves. Yeah. And we need to learn that. And okay, another thing is, well, we also had this culture back home where before the civil crisis, the 14 years of civil war, there was like people tell us the stories about how people were respectful back then during those days. Children were respectful to elderly to the point that you OG, you didn't need to be the father to a child, but you could discipline that child if you saw them doing wrong, and the parents could commend you for it. Yeah, before the Civil War. Now it's totally different. Human rights has taken over everything. Children are going loose, they're going wayward. I mean, even teachers, dare not reprimand children. Yeah, it's becoming crazy because parents are no longer interested in someone disciplining their kids. You discipline their kids as a teacher, even in the classroom, some of them will come and just lash at you. They will even take your complaint to the principal, to the headmaster, or whatever the nomenclature might be, and say, this person is doing something that I don't like and everything. And meanwhile, you're just trying to do something good for that child. So we have actually allowed this thing of human rights to infiltrate our culture. So our culture is gradually wearing away when it comes to respect. But here in Japan, I see that respect is like non-negotiable. The Japanese respect, they like to respect people. And that's another thing. If you respect each other, we move forward. We grow together. But if you have people who are just loose and being rude, children don't care about elderly anymore, they do whatever they feel like doing. Parents are taking the side of children when it comes to matters regarding elderly. I remember, like my grandmother told me, before the civil crisis in Liberia, there was never a time where a child and an elderly person went to sit on a matter. Nah, it never happened. So the child was always wrong. The elderly person was never wrong. Yeah, so it sends a signal to the children. It sends a signal to the young people that you have to do everything possible to respect the elderly, because there's no way we're going to go sit to judge a case, to judge a matter between you and an elderly person. Today, nah, that's totally different. And the number one cause of that is because of the Civil War. The Civil War really destroyed a lot of things back home. In fact, a lot of things. It destroyed the very fabric of the Liberian society. It was not just about infrastructure destruction, economic sabotage, or whatever the names might be, but when it comes to culture, the civil crisis really affected our culture. Today we have lost identity. In the entire Africa, to be frank, and I'm being very truthful, in my own opinion, I think we have lost identity as Liberians. We don't have a national language that everyone speaks. And those are all reconciliatory forms or reconciliation methods or whatever the case might be. But we really need those things. Yeah. So we need to go back to being respectful, go back to being a disciplined country in every aspect. But until then, we have a lot of young people out there who are just doing things as they feel like. And it's actually bad. And Japan has really done well with that. There's so much respect. You go to the supermarket to buy, people are bowing to you, thanking you. Yeah, there's still so much respect. People are mindful of the boundaries. They are mindful of how they treat you. Back home, it's totally different. People just don't care because people have become selfish. You need to think about the next person, and that's how it works. But if I'm thinking about myself all the time, there's no place for another person, and the world will never be a better place. If you prioritize one person over yourself, then the world becomes a better place. But we have still not reached that level. And like I said, it's because of the civil crisis. We had the system back then, but now it's completely wiped out. Yeah. So it's a terrible thing. Yeah. It's a terrible thing. Today, lots of violence, as I would say, domestic violence, men beating on their wives, just a lot of things going on back home. The civil crisis really tore the fabrics of the Liberian society. Yeah. And we need to rebuild. It's not just about the structures. It's not about the economy. It has to do with our culture. And the president did something amazing a few days ago. And when I saw it online, I was like, wow, this is great. Do you know that the civil crisis started with the overthrowing of the president? He was the 20th president of Liberia, President William R. Talbot. He was killed in 1980, I'm sure. He became president in 1971, and he was killed in 1980. That was the beginning of the coup. That was the beginning of the 14 years of civil war. He didn't receive a befitting burial. There were also 13 members of his cabinet who were all executed because executed by the coup leader at the time, who later became president, President Samuel K. Doe. They were executed. They didn't receive befitting burials and everything. And Doe himself, President Doe himself, was also overthrown. And he was also killed in a coup d'etat. He didn't receive a proper burial and everything. But the president this year decided that let's have a reconciliatory gathering. Let's do a proper burial for each of these individuals. Mm-hmm. And trust me, that's very welcoming. For me, when I saw it, it brought tears of joy to my eyes because I felt like this is it. People, despite whatever might have been the situation back then when those people were killed, whether they were good people or not, but the fact that they were state leaders, they were people who were in authority and they were killed in such manners, they should receive the proper burial rites. And that was what was done. I think it was some part of last week. And Liberians are so excited. I'm so excited because I feel that the families of those people who were killed in those coup d'etats and all those stuff, they now feel satisfied that their people can now rest. Yes. Their spirits can rest wherever they are because they have been buried properly. So I'm really excited about that. So the president has really struck a chord in my heart. That by doing that, that was good. I think he has put Liberia on a path of reconciliation to the point where we can now say, okay, let's forget about the 14 years of civil crisis. Let's move ahead. That's very commendable.
Yes.
Yeah, very commendable.
We have to move forward.
We have to.
Not back.
Yeah, we can't go backwards. True. Yeah.
So since I joined the undergraduate school in Japan, maybe I talk with like more than 1,000 people. Ooh. And having deep conversation like this, and like including Africans, Asians, Europeans. Okay. And what I realized was about their dream differences. If my friend who comes from the developed country like Japan, or maybe German, or maybe Spain, their dream is like normal. Okay. Sorry, but it's normal. Okay. Like the private dreams.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But who comes from the developing countries like Mongolia, like including you and also the Kenya, Botswana. Mm-hmm. Their dreams were like a big. It's a huge changing the countries, developing countries, or even it sounds like a private dream, but that's connected with the country's development. Yeah. As an example, like I want to make a lot of money, my friend said, and I asked why, because if I had a lot of money, I will change the water problem in my country. Oh, wow. Always, the answers were like this. Okay. Always connected with their country. Their countries. To change in a good way. Yeah. So I want to ask your dream.
Well, trust me, when you have bigger problems, you need to have bigger dreams. So those who are in developed countries, they don't have bigger problems. So obviously they're not going to have, let's say, bigger dreams.
Yeah, they don't need to.
Yeah, they don't need to because like the country is taking care of itself. Yeah. They only need to take care of themselves. But back home, for us Africans, The countries are, at the moment, my country, Liberia, is not to the point where she can take care of herself. So we all need to take care of her. So we need to dream big. And trust me, my biggest dream now is to go back home and be able to change the education when it comes to geology, geological education. I have seen a big difference between how geology is being taught back home as compared to how geology is taught here. The difference is here geology is practical driven. Back home geology is theory driven. And the reason is because we don't have the equipment, we don't have the necessary material to teach geology the way it should be taught. Geology should be a hands-on course. Geology is a hands-on field. There's no one will come and tell you, okay, if you take the petrographic microscope and you put a thin section on it and you rotate it, you will notice that this will happen, this will happen. But you need to have the petrographic microscope before you. But if you don't have it, so you're just going to be sitting and say, okay, and you might even fall asleep because it is practical. If you're doing the practical, if you're seeing the specimen, if you're looking through the lenses of the microscope, then I can be able to explain to you what you are seeing, what you're looking at, and then you appreciate that. But again, because we do not have the money, we do not have the funding, so the Department of Geology at the University of Liberia is struggling. We don't have these things. I didn't have access to the many things that I now have access to. Mm-hmm. And it behooves me actually to think that, hey, to know that I can go back and be able to make the necessary changes. So trust me, initially I was like, maybe I could stay in Japan, but no, I'll be more useful in Liberia than in Japan because I can do better things. I could do bigger things. I could be able to change some stuff. I could be able to modify, if not to change it, because you can't change a whole system over time, one time or in split seconds, but you begin to do some modifications where you can begin to raise the expectations of the students, where people who want to go into the earth sciences can know that there are prospects. Like, for example, Japan now is waiting to help people from back home, from Liberia, apply for scholarships. You could be able to come to Japan and be able to do whatever course you want to do, even if you are not in the earth sciences. So when I get back home, those are some of the awareness that I want to raise to my fellow Liberians, to undergraduate students, that, hey, you can do whatever you want to do. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve. There's a world of possibility out there. And so I'm hoping that somewhere in the future, I could be able to write grant proposals and be able to get at least the basic equipment, petrographic microscope, thin section making equipment, and other stuff that will really help to boost the Department of Geology at the University of Liberia. Then apart from that, I also want to do more research on the mineral resources of my country. I've already started with 3 gold deposits for my PhD. I hope to go beyond that to tell the world about the mineral potential of Liberia. It's necessary. And in fact, this is a new trend. Every country now is trying to tell the next country, this is what I have. You can come. We are looking for investors. If people don't know what you have, they won't come. Yeah, nobody's going to come to knock on your door. OG, what do you have? You need to open up your door and say, hey, this is what I have. I have a sofa. I have a microwave. I have a diesel. My home is conducive for living. Come in, come and live. So we need that. Liberia's natural resources need to be explored. They need to be explained to the rest of the world. Let the people know what we have. Imagine we have diamonds, but that is still inaccessible because there's only one company, the Yusef Diamond Mining Company. That's the only company that has been into diamond exploration for a very long time. Yeah, they're still doing exploration. They're doing an amazing job. The CEO of Roger Yusef is doing an amazing job, but it's not enough. More investors need to come in. We need more investment so that we can be able to really explore the natural resources of the country. So for now, the 3 things we know we have so far that we are exploiting, at least diamond is just on an artisanal mining scale. There's no company that is doing any hard rock mining. Like I said, it's still in the exploration stage, but there are some artisanal mining going on around the country, especially in Western Liberia. But we have gold. We have the B Mountain, B Mountain Mining Corporation that is doing gold mining. We have ArcelorMittal that is doing iron ore, so we have gold. iron ore and diamond. But I'm sure there are other speculations. There are speculations about having or the presence of other minerals, like coltan. But we need to do more research. We need to dive more into exploring what we have. That's very necessary. Then we'll be able to tell you, well, this is what we have, and we need you to come in so we can do more. So that's going to be one of my priorities, to dive into research in my country, be able to know what we have. I hope to have the support. Well, even if I don't have it from government, I'm hoping that I could be able to write grant proposals. At least the PhD is going to help me with that kind of knowledge, how to write grant proposals and be able to write to whether NGOs or write to UN or whatever entities that will be interested in helping us to explore the resources of Liberia. I'm going to write them and tell them, hey, we need this, we need this, we need that, so that we'll be able to explore. So, because if we cannot tell the world what we have, they will never come to us. But I do believe we have so much to offer. Yep, we do have a lot. Yeah. So those are the things I think about, trust me. Those are the things that keep running in my mind, in my head every now and then. And I'm sure I'm going to achieve them. Yeah, I'm going to achieve them.
I know you can.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I
Great.
can, of course.
Okay, let's go to the next question.
Okay.
From Africa with purpose. Young generations, your younger brothers, younger sisters in Liberia, they are living in that type of environment,
Of
the
course.
bullying environment. So if you could give one piece of advice for them,
What would that
what
be?
would it be?
I think for me, there's one thing I've noticed. If I tell people, or I've probably told a couple of my friends, that if you want to go further, if you want to go forward in Liberia, say it's a poor environment, you have to pull away from the environment. So you have to do that in your mind.
In mind.
In your mind. Yeah, that's what I've discovered. So take for example, we're in this room, and if I just confine my mind to this room, like there's nothing out there. This is just all I have. This is just where I want to be. This is it. Obviously, I will not open that door to get out. And probably even if that door is open, I will even be afraid to get out. But if I have in my mind that there's something better outside that door, so even if it's not open, I'm going to open it. So probably even if there's no door, if I just believe that there's something better outside of this wall, or outside of these walls, outside of these four corners, trust me, I'm going to find a way to break through. So for me, the mind, if your mind is not strong enough, you're going to just rot in Liberia. So you have to envision it, you have to purpose it in your mind that, hey, this is not the kind of environment, this is not an ideal environment. Liberia is not a normal, ideal environment. Why would an environment keep pulling you back? It should be an environment that pushes you. It should be an environment that creates opportunities for you to strive, for you to achieve, for you to want to contribute to the society, to the system. But the system is it's kind of pulling you back. Like, hey, every time you want to take a step, it's like, come back. Come back. So if I were given advice back home, the thing is, change your mindset. Think outside of the box. Think outside of Liberia. So I told a friend of mine before, I was like, I'm a Liberian. I'm proud of being a Liberian, trust me. But I'm not a Liberian in my mindset. So I think international. I don't think local. So I think by the grace of God, that's one of the things that have really helped me to reach where I've reached. So today I'm sitting with you. That's my strength. Apart from God, that's my strength. I always thought that there was something better outside of Liberia. I always thought that I could become a better geologist. I always thought that, hey, I could contribute better. I could do more. There's more to do. So that was just my mindset. It's not about, hey, okay, I got a job and I said, okay, I'll go and work and all this stuff. But my question is, what if I went and just work with a bachelor's degree, and at the end of the day, the only thing I'm qualified to do with my bachelor's degree is to go collect soil samples? I don't get to know what happens in the lab. I don't get to know what happens, how to manipulate the geochemical or geological, whatever data you get. But I was just inquisitive. I need to know what goes on. So for me, the advice I would give to my siblings or to the younger generation back home in my country is, you have to shape your mindset. Always know that there are better things out there. and don't confine your mind to Liberia, because if you do that, then you are already in the direction of the country, because the country is it's a pulling environment. So if you think that this is better for me, then you are going to be pulled away instead of being pushed. So for me, that's just the basic advice I can give, because the system, I don't know if I can say with certainty is going to change anytime soon. I can say that. So the only thing I can say is you change your mindset. The system is what it is, but you change your mindset and you see yourself excelling, because you start to pull away from the country. So it's like, how do you call it? I think in physics, they have this centrifugal force and centripetal force. There's one of them that pulls you towards the center, and there's one that pulls you away from the center. So for me, if you want to do something better in Liberia, you don't have to be pulled towards the center. You have to be pulled away from the center. It's your mind that's going to take you away from the circle, pull you away from that circle of a pulling environment, takes you away from that circle. Else you just stay within that circle until you are noble. Yeah, so the mindset, you have to know that there's something better out there. I can pursue excellence. I can do better. It's not just about making money. Because most young people back home, sad to say, is that I just want to make money. I just want to make money. And the money is not even available. There are no jobs. So why not try something else? Yeah. So that's just my advice. Change your mindset and know that there's something better out there that you can do. You can achieve way more than Liberia can offer. You can achieve that. Yeah.
Start from our mind.
Yeah, it starts with your mind. If the mind is not willing to change, if the mind is not willing to move forward, you're not going to move forward. So for me, that has been my strength. The mind. I can do better. I can go higher. I can have a book written tomorrow, and you have Stephen F. Cooper II. I could write the geology of Liberia. I could write a book on the geology of Liberia. Those are the things I think about. So those are the things that kept pushing me forward. Like, hey, so this is not where you belong. If you have to write a book about the geology of Liberia, you cannot be pulled away. You cannot be pulled towards the center. You have to be pulled off the center. That's the only way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's great. That's great. I believe the Liberian people, the young people, will start from their mind, and they will put out from the box, and maybe some of them who are watching this podcast, maybe they can come to Japan and got some discoveries and learn more about everything. And the last question is the funny question, and they will come maybe this year or maybe next year. So do you have any advice? What should they eat in Japan? What's the best food in Japan?
No, that's a very funny question. For me, I found it very easy here to adapt to the kind of food that is around, because one, the Japanese food is well seasoned.
What?
Well seasoned. Like they have a lot of seasoning.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the same.
Lot of seasoning.
Yeah, lot of seasoning. So it's the same back home. We have lots of seasoning, so our food is really tasty, and the Japanese food is tasty. Trust me. Then again, one important aspect is that Japanese love rice. Oh yeah, I've seen them eating rice, and back home our staple food is rice.
Oh really?
Yeah, rice is our staple food. So you see, there's not much of a difference. The only difference I have seen so far is the local soup, the local dishes we have. Like back home, we eat I don't know if you heard of cassava.
Cassava.
Yeah, we eat cassava leaf. There are these sweet potatoes. We also eat sweet potato leaves, and there are other grains and other leaves that we eat that are not here. So basically, that's just the only difference. But everything that you get back home is also here. I've even noticed that we have similar fish or fishes or whatever. There's particular fish they call sniper. Sniper is back home. There's another fish we call, those are the local names. There's another fish we call zipper fish.
Zipper fish.
Zipper fish is also here. Yeah, so I was like, oh, so these are the fish that we have back home. They're also here. They are available. So since I came, the only thing I think that has been different from what I've seen back home when it comes to dishes is there's the ramen, the Japanese ramen.
Ramen.
Yeah,
yes.
the Japanese ramen is so nice. So I think for Liberians listening, the ramen is like a noodle. Back home we say noodles, but back home we don't fix our noodles like porridge where you have so much water. Back home we have it dried. You cook it and it's dried. It's not so. It doesn't have water. It's not like the soupy noodle. But the Japanese ramen is a soupy noodle, so you have to eat with spoon. Back when we eat our noodles with fork. So when you come here, if you ever come to Japan, the Japanese ramen is something to try. So I was like, ooh, this is yummy. Yeah, so the Japanese ramen is cool. Yeah, I like it.
Me too.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Next time, let's have some ramen
Of course.
anywhere in Nakita.
No problem.
And let's record that and let's show them.
Yeah, what our ramen is.
Yeah, what ramen is. Okay.
No
See you
problem.
next time. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Stefan.
Thank you, OG. It was nice talking to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening today. See you on next episode. But before that, please subscribe our YouTube channel and push the notification button. See you later.